Are we live?
We are live. We are actually on a truck. We are sitting on a truck.
Let me-
Gargi said, "This is a truck." I said, "So what? Look at this.
We are
actually
literally
sitting,
sitting
yeah,
on a
on the truck." So the driver was very kind. I went and asked, "Are you driving off?" He said, "No." I said, "Can we sit on your truck and do the live?" He said, "Well, feel welcome." Devashish is
Great.
also sitting on the
Very
truck, by the way.
welcoming truck driver here.
And if he does drive, then we'll show a tour of Lords.
Yeah, we'll get a nice tour of Lords, possibly even London.
Truck में बैठ के
Depends
मस्त-
on when he stops next.
एंड फिर दोबारा ट्रोल्स विल कम एंड से इसको अभी टैक्सी बस ये सब का पैसा नहीं है, ये देखो ट्रक में घूम रहा
ट्रक
है.
में घूम रहा है.
अरे बाप रे बाप. But what an incredibly interesting day. By the way, we are in front of the Compton stand, and on the left is the grandstand. The grandstand is on my left, the Compton stand is on my right. In front of us is the nursery ground where India finished its practice session about an hour back. Your takeaways from that practice session. We could not complete the live then because we had started. We were given an exclusive tour of the Lord's Museum by the curator. You can see that tomorrow. But your takeaways, the 5 takeaways from the practice session.
All right, the 5 takeaways. One will obviously be, number 5 will obviously be Jasprit Bumrah bowling full tilt. He's bowling full intensity. And, we made this point before as well, that there was a stark difference in the way that Bumrah practiced at Edgbaston versus how he practiced at Leeds. Leeds was full intensity, 45 minutes of bowling, close to an hour of bowling, versus Edgbaston where he was bowling from a short run up. There was no intensity there. There was no, he wasn't bowling full throttle, but now he's back to that same intensity that we saw at Leeds. So it's more than sure. And also, Shubman Gill, I think yesterday, in the last press conference, spoke about the fact that Jasprit Bumrah will play the Lord's Test match. So he's coming back into the team. We will see who will be dropped. Most probably it's Prasidh Krishna, but the rest of the bowling combination will have to be looked at, or we'll have to see what happens there. The second takeaway will be Karun Nair.
I think you said most probably. I think it's done, isn't it? I think
Yeah,
it's done.
seems done.
It's done, and Prasidh also went for a quick session at the indoor training
Yeah.
academy. In fact, he kind of wished Devashish in a very reverential way of saying, "Sir." Devashish was very happy. Devashish was actually on his way. Prasidh comes and says, "Sir,
Hello,
how
sir.
are you?"
Hello,
sir.
sir.
And it was great. It was great. And I was like, "Arey Devashish, toke mama bollo na?"
Very
So Devashish was
respectful.
like, because everybody, all the players love calling him mama, and in a very loving way, very loving, respectful way. You should see Ravindra Jadeja and Devashish. You should see Siraj and Devashish. You should see some of these players with Devashish, and you will know what I'm talking about. But I think it's done. I think Prasidh Krishna gives way to Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah.
I think the rest of the bowling attack is a given now. Jasprit Bumrah bowling full tilt. Shardul also bowled full tilt. Nitish also bowled, but I don't
Washington
think
Sundar didn't
Washington
bowl.
Sundar.
Did
was
he
he there?
bowl?
No, I didn't see him bowling.
No,
I didn't
he
see him.
batted.
I
yes.
didn't see him bowling, but I think it's done. I think it's Prasidh Krishna giving way to Jasprit Bumrah. So Jasprit Bumrah, Akash Deep, Mohammad Siraj, Washington Sundar, and Nitish Reddy, and obviously Ravindra Jadeja. That's your bowling unit. One change from India is what I am saying. I had said 3-4 changes ahead of Edgbaston, said 3 Shaw, 4 Mulling, and 3 changes happened. One thing that Gargi and I said was Sai, Karun. That is because we had seen that fielding drill
Yes,
between
the
Sai
slip
and Gill,
cordon.
and you actually saw Sai go ahead and field in the slip position and in the gully position, where he also took a catch. So exactly what we had seen, but based on what we've seen today, we think it's one change. I don't know what she feels, but I think it's one change.
Yeah.
4 Lords, you think it's one change?
Pretty much. I don't.
And you reckon
see,
Karun's playing?
Yes, Karun's playing. I don't see the Indian management sort of changing the winning 11 at this point. Jasprit Bumrah is quite an obvious choice. Why would you not have Jasprit Bumrah in the team? The other is, there's no other change. I don't see any other change because Washington gave you exactly what you were looking for. He gave you that cushion in the batting lineup. He gave you very, very disciplined overs. Shubman Gill was talking about wanting control from both ends when it comes to playing 2 spinners, and that's precisely what Washington Sundar did at the Edgbaston as well. So I don't see Washington Sundar losing his place in the team.
I actually
Karun
think
Nair,
that partnership won you that game. I think the
Washington
Washington
Jadeja.
Sundar Shubman Gill
Ah,
partnership.
okay.
See, when Jadeja got out, India was 411 or 400 and something for 6.
Yeah.
And if you think of Leeds, you were, after the 6th wicket fell, you got all out in both innings for
Yes,
20 runs.
yes.
So you think of 450 all out, justifiably, if Washington wasn't there. The Leeds 430 to 471 all out. Second innings 350 for 5 to 370 all out, something like that, 360 all out. So if you are thinking that last 3-4 innings no runs, last 3-4 wickets, so you're actually talking about 450 all out. England got 407. England actually got 407. The moment you think in the context of that 150 run partnership between Washington Sundar and Shubman Gill actually won you that game.
Absolutely.
That 180 run lead that you got went and sealed that 600 run lead that you eventually got and put England in, and you killed England, right? So I don't see Washington Sundar under any circumstance being replaced.
No, not at all, not at all. I think the only possibility that we were sort of thinking about was obviously Kuldeep Yadav coming in, because he's done nothing wrong really. He's a wicket-taking bowler. We expected him to see, expected to see him in Edgbaston. That did not happen. It was clear that the management was still going for that cushion in the batting lineup, and rightly so. It helped, like you said, that Shubman Gill Washington Sundar partnership sort of solidified that lead, gave India a very a solid. It eventually won you the match. So you really have to think about the contribution and the impact that Washington Sundar had with the bat and with the ball as well. You know, he did not give away too many runs. I think he was bowling tight lines. He was going through his overs pretty fast, and that Ben Stokes wicket.
Absolutely, and he's a reasonably solid batter.
Yeah.
And when you think, a lot of people are asking Sawal bhi le lenge, a lot of people are also asking about England changes.
Jofra.
When you think Jofra, when you think Gus Atkinson, and then you think India will play one batter less, that's not going to happen. India will not play one batter less when England is actually reinforcing its fast bowling by bringing in Jofra and bringing in Gus Atkinson. So England changes, I think two. I think Jofra and Gus Atkinson. Now the question is who to? Who in place of? Josh Tongue, yes, obvious. Josh Tongue will give way to Jofra. Who is the second change? I thought Bryden Cars was extremely impressive, not simply in Leeds, but also in Edgbaston. He did bowl well with the new ball, did not get too many wickets, but bowled well with the new ball. Also, Bryden Cars lower down the order is handy.
Very handy.
So Gus Atkinson and Jofra, if you bring both in, who is your second change?
I don't see how you can possibly include a Gus Atkinson, because everyone else is doing so well. So it will either have to be a priority change where, you know, England sort of thinks that, you know what, we want a Gus Atkinson at the cost of anything in the team. Then you can possibly sit Bryden Cars at the bench and then get in a Gus Atkinson. But now that I look back, that Chris Woakes and Bryden Cars partnership at Leeds, that changed the game for them. Will you drop a player like that? If you're ruthless enough to do that, then that's that. But
I don't think India will mind, because if you think of England, I mean, isn't this a risk? Jofra Archer has not played red ball since 2021. Yeah. Jofra Archer has 1 day of cricket for 1 day. 1 day is what he has bowled, and you are bringing him into a test match for 5 days. Whatever you tell me, how many training sessions he must have attended, you have played 1 day of competitive cricket, and you are coming back for a test match as important as this. Is that a risk for England? I think yes. Gus Atkinson, since that Zimbabwe match, has not played anything. So you are telling me that I will bring a Jofra Archer and a Gus Atkinson who have not played any cricket in a test match as significant as Lord's, and to help who? Chris Woakes and only Ben Stokes. Go England. I would be, if I am India, go for it. Absolutely go for it and drop Bryden Cars. I don't mind it at all. And if Jofra breaks down, we will see what happens.
let's take some comments.
Please.
Do you mind? Okay.
It's so much better here than your idea of standing in the sun and doing it. We would be baked.
I know.
Trisha would have had baked us for her birthday.
Did Shubayan and Rohit say that Sundar hadn't come to practice?
I don't know what they said, but anyway, it's okay.
Anyway, do you remember, Shreyanshi Singh is asking, do you remember when the last time India played at Lord's, and who was the man of the match in that game? Why do you want this stat?
No, I mean, 2021, that Virat Kohli test match. Who was the man of the match, Devashish? 2021, that Virat Kohli test match? England all out? Okay.
Anyway, so other questions here.
But that was one of India's greatest victories. I mean, I remember that incredible afternoon. I mean, when Robinson and Anderson and these guys were batting, and that last part, the Mohammad Siraj coming from over the wicket, and Bharat Arun in that interview to me telling me how Mohammad Siraj was bowling from round the wicket. And yes, I mean KL Rahul got a 100 right in that game. KL Rahul got a 100. KL Rahul got a 100 in that game. Yes, KL Rahul has been absolutely brilliant in this series. I don't know why people keep going after
I
KL
do
Rahul.
not understand. I think the problem here is that the Indian fans are being a little bit short-sighted. They want big scores from KL Rahul. They possibly are comparing him to a Shubman Gill or a Rishabh Pant performance and not understanding that KL Rahul is doing his job to the T. KL Rahul comes in and negates that new ball so well. He plays out those 25-30 overs, possibly 40 as well when he stays on longer, and he completely negates the new ball and the way that he's playing spin. Look at Leeds. The conditions in Leeds were so treacherous. How is this moving?
It doesn't matter.
Acha,
Don't
okay,
worry.
he's getting on. Are you? Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I thought-
You let us know when you're going. Super.
Okay, yes. The way that he batted in Leeds, KL Rahul, and has been batting consistently, yes, he's not getting you. I think that's what the problem is. People want to see hundreds or 150s or 200s.
People want to see some either slam bang shots.
Yeah.
People want to see some either a person who is more expressive. KL Rahul is that typical, he's not one of those people who will be expressive and all of that stuff. I mean, I don't understand this. Don't give so much flack to KL Rahul. For
Yeah.
what?
He's
He has
doing
been
so
stellar
well.
in this series, boss. Stellar. He's taken catches in the slips. He has scored 100. He has scored a 50. He has been impressive. He has, by the way, which you guys don't know, KL Rahul repeatedly running to the bowler, talking to him, speaking to the bowlers multiple times. I can't tell you how many times that has kind of happened already. It's stellar. It is stellar what we have seen of KL Rahul.
And yeah, that's what it is about KL Rahul. Let's take some more comments here. Okay, there we go. Oh, yes, I wanted to talk about the pitch. A lot of questions about the pitch here.
Boliye.
Pretty green, pretty green. It looks like a complete green top at the moment. Obviously, as we get closer to the game, there will be changes there. The heavy roller was used today. I am expecting... what happened?
No. I'm just
The heavy
listening.
roller was used today. I am expecting that the grass will also be shaved off. But let's say 4-5 centimeters of grass on that pitch.
Maybe more.
More?
Maybe more. I mean, but certainly not
Not
Edgbaston.
100% not Edgbaston.
It will be much more bowler friendly than Edgbaston. At least for the first couple of days, there will be assistance. I don't see 600 getting scored.
Yeah.
I don't
think
see
so.
600 and 500 and 500 and all of that stuff getting scored here at all. I mean, this will be a much more fair competition between bat and ball, and that kind of brings the Indians into play again. As in, the Indian fast bowlers will have as much opportunity. This will be a good test match.
This will be a very good test match. You know
I
what
think
I'm-
India somehow gets this.
You know what I'm looking forward to? With the sort of bowling that we've seen at Edgbaston, Akashdeep, Siraj, Prasidh Krishna also coming into his own and bowling those incredible spells that he did. He did put on a lot of pressure. So I want to see that bowling lineup. Akashdeep, Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah, Washington Sundar and Ravindra Jadeja as well. On this pitch, I think because, Debashish told us that the curator kept saying that there's going to be a lot of bounce, a lot of juice. I'm so excited to see the bowling
This will be
performance.
interesting. And on the other side, Indian batters will be tested.
Oh, yeah.
Geoff Archer, Gus Atkinson, Chris Wokes has an average of 12 at Lords. Chris Wokes at Lords, and Ben Stokes will be smarting. Ben Stokes is a proud cricketer. He has been repeatedly asked about his form, and rightly so. Ben Stokes hasn't done much at all. Ben Stokes took a call of winning the toss and putting India in. Had Shubman Gill taken that call, by now 2,200 kangaroo quotes on social media would have said that he's the worst captain and Gautam is the worst coach. There would be people sitting in judgment on their high horse and Gill would be guillotined. So we would have seen all of that happen by now. Ben Stokes held his own, said it's a subcontinental deck. Now he has to come here and redeem. If it doesn't get Lords, the murmur will get really loud that if Ben Stokes is actually doing the job that is expected of him or not. England is under pressure. Make no mistake, England is under pressure. They'll have to figure out a way of getting Shubman Gill out. They've not found a way of getting Shubman Gill out. Is Jofra the answer? Is Gus Atkinson the answer? We've got to wait and see. But Shubman Gill, the kind of batsmanship we have seen so far from Gill in this series, he has not looked to be getting out. And that's why
Flawless.
the green wicket comes in.
He's been absolutely flawless. There are no technical weaknesses. There are no chinks in the armor. Apart from that Bryden cast delivery, that
One from Cars and one from Harry Brook. Finished.
apart from that, I don't remember any other moment where Shubman Gill was almost out or gave a chance to the bowler. I do not remember it at all.
As Gargi kind of takes some more questions, let me quickly give you my 5 takeaways. One was Jasprit Bumrah. She already spoken about Jasprit Bumrah bowling full tilt. He had a bit of a banter and chat with Debashish. He came and said, "Arey, now all of it will be analysed. A ball coming in, ball going out, outside off, outside leg." And Debashish was laughing. And thereafter, the moment another journalist switched his camera on and he came again, he said, "Ab to bolne ka nahi hai. Now filming ho raha hai." Bol ke. So Jasprit Bumrah was getting into the act. That was going on. Number 2 was Karun Nair. Karun Nair did a session of knockdowns. And then went and batted in the fast bowlers' nets, the spin bowlers' nets, and then came again and did a few throwdowns again. So Karun Nair, we reckon, will play. Number 3, we also saw the other bowlers bowl full intensity except Siraj and Arshdeep. Siraj and Akashdeep.
Yeah.
Arshdeep was very much there. Arshdeep, Nitish Reddy and Shardul Thakur ran in full on. 4th takeaway, no Rishabh Pant, no Shubman Gill, no Mohammad Siraj, no Akashdeep. I'm very keen. I was doing a Bangla chat with Debashish, and I've got to say, I'm very keen on seeing if Shubman Gill, Siraj, Akashdeep, and Rishabh Pant turn up tomorrow for an intense session, because generally we don't see that. We see India opting for an optional, though in both optional sessions, Gill has trained extensively.
Yes.
He comes for the pre-match captain's presser and then trains on.
Yeah.
Rishabh also, if you see, he does those special drills. So I'm
Exactly.
keen on seeing whether that happens. Number 4, very strange, England did not train. That's my key
Cancel their
takeaway.
practice.
England is reserving themselves for tomorrow, which is one day before the game. So they will come and train tomorrow big time. We will report back in detail.
You know what? Understandable. We kept bringing up this
I
point.
think Owen's commentating.
Oh, okay. I think we keep bringing up this point that England bowled 60 more overs than India, and that's a lot of workload on the body. And I understand why they
60 in only the first innings. They bowled
yes.
they bowled at least 100 overs in that second innings. They bowled 250 overs in that game,
Wow.
while India bowled at least 150 overs. England bowled 100 overs more than India. 100 overs more than India.
Someone is saying, please explain the slope and how it works in the bowler's favor.
चलो मैंने आपको दिखाया जाके आप बताओ अभी बताओ.
In the favor, what I've heard is that it gets difficult to manage.
Yes, but once you manage, how does it work in your favor? So, okay, you describe the ground which you see. Then I will describe the other.
Okay, so the ground is not only there are indentations.
By the way, Gargi
when it
went
comes
in.
to.
So she went in. She was there at ground level. Came
Yeah, I
down
was-
and Rohan was there with her. They've taken 1,022,000 photographs also.
So if this is the pitch, there are indentations like this. So that's how the slope is, if I'm not wrong, right?
And also,
Not only that, the ground is also tilted like this. So quite a lot of quite a weird ground.
now what happens is you're running in.
Yeah.
If you're unable to hold your angle, the ball will slide. Mohammad Siraj from that angle, so what Bharat Arun said, go and listen to that Bharat Arun interview. Don't listen to me, because Bharat explained it much, much better. So from one end where the slope is this way, if you are running in fast, Mohammad Siraj coming in round the wicket to the left-hander was not able to bowl the right line. So that's when they said, come over the wicket and you will get the angle because of the slope. And they utilize the slope to their advantage. Go and listen to Bharat Arun describe that. When the 2021 win happened, at the tea break, they told Mohammad Siraj that this is what you need to do. And Mohammad Siraj post-tea was a different bowler. He started coming over the wicket, started using those angles, and he was an absolutely different bowler. Fantastic analysis from Bharat there.
Yeah.
Ravi, Bharat, and by the way, my takeaway here is, because Jasprit knows that slope, Jasprit has played in Lords. Because Siraj knows that slope, Siraj has had a very good outing in Lords in 2021. My only thing is Akash doesn't know it, or Akash hasn't played a test match
Siraj
here.
has played.
Siraj and Jasprit know that slope really well. Lord also knows it well, being part of that 2021 series. Akash needs to come and train once tomorrow. Akash needs to get himself with it, because Siraj, Akash and Jasprit, the moment the three of them start bowling in tandem, Chetan Paji, who got a fifer in 1986 using that slope, he was telling me with a long interview, watch it tomorrow, that I was running in hard, and Deshprem Azad Saab, his coach, Kapil Paji's coach, said go to the other end, because then you will be able to use that slope to your advantage. And he did that, and he immediately picked three: Alan Lamb, Mike Gatting and Graham Gooch, and picked Paul Downton as his fifth wicket and got his fifer at Lords. So the slope is one of the most interesting and intriguing parts of Lords. Very, very interesting. Doria and Ganguly, pride of Bengal. By the way, it's his birthday today.
Yes.
So Saurav Ganguly and boss, think about it. And I think that the last nail on English empire and imperialism and coffin was here at Lords when Ganguly opened his shirt and started doing this. I mean, he did not have a Salman Khan body, and yet he did it with all his Bengali rituals and madulis is what we call it. What do you call it?
Rudraksh.
हाँ, वो क्या बोलता है उसको? वो सब जो पहनते हैं ना, वो चेन टाइप्स, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? आप लोग समझ रहे हो? So
Rudrakshi कहते हैं ना, that those little.
हाँ, but that's one. He wears 25 of those.
Oh, I don't
So
Okay.
imagine that. So on the one hand, you have that. You have the conservative bastion of heritage and whatever, and then you have somebody wearing all of that, using your shirt like a torch and doing it at Lords. I thought that was the last nail in the English imperialist coffin.
Absolutely.
And by the way, Saurav Ganguly, me and Steve were at the media center, and Steve comes and says, Saurav, is this your greatest achievement, opening your shirt at Lords? And he turns towards Steve and he says, I've got hundreds here. Why don't you talk about that?
Very good. Rohan Eole is asking me to cut the grass on the pitch.
Cut the grass. I mean, okay. So Gargi has already done I will write today a piece about what my team has done on this tour.
No, please.
I will write this piece
not.
from missing flights to losing earrings to losing their purse. I have to write about these people and their incredible deeds on the streets of England. They can only be compared to the Paddington Bear.
Okay. Let's not go there. Okay.
And it's only 10 minutes from here to Paddington.
Anurag Malpani is asking, are there vegan dishes? Lots. Options
plenty.
in Lords. You can come and get anything you want.
And the media center will have lovely scones and clotted butter and cream.
Should I take
everyday tea?
The final question?
हाँ, खत्म करो. और 3 मिनट, 2 बजे खत्म कर दो.
हाँ.
ओदेके डेके ने बेरोबो.
Okay, I can't find that anymore, but someone was asking, because of the heat, will the grass die down faster?
Possible. Very possible. Because it's genuinely hot. On match days, it is expected to be 30, 31. It will be genuinely hot. Make no mistake about it. Seriously hot.
Will the pitch break? Idara Karthik.
No, don't think so. Don't think it will break, but there will be some assistance towards the 4th, 5th days, but it will assist the faster bowlers at the start. But the heat will have an impact. I think all 4 days of the match, it's about 30 degrees or so. It might just have an impact.
We call it Janoi. That thing that sort of Ganguly wears.
Call it Janoi. There. Ki bolchis bhai. Ja ichche bolis na.
Okay, what is the lineup of India according to you? One change.
Said it, one change.
One change. Jasprit Bumrah comes in for Prasidh Krishna.
I don't think any other change.
No. Okay, Abhishek Rawat is saying, down the slope, ball will come in if Jofra uses that slope nicely. Indian right-handed batters may feel the heat, especially Gill. So don't forget, so far Gill has scored runs on pitches where there wasn't any movement.
Hello, Gill did not. The pitches were given to him, he smashed England. I don't understand this. This is another piece of mine. I have seen on social media people putting Gill's dismissals and saying he has scored runs on only placid wickets. Are you daft or what? Are you daft or what?
We must
denigrating
have
the
been,
Indian captain who scored 600 runs. Come on, boss. He's batting like an absolute genius, and you're putting in his dismissals and saying he scored runs on. And this you will see dime and the dozen on social media. Dime and the dozen. Visuals accumulated of Gill's dismissals. And some of those outs, by the way, were after 150.
Yeah.
And they've not mentioned that he's got 150 or whatever. They've just put a collection of his dismissals.
Never mind that.
Nonsense.
We have a super chat from Ashish. Welcome back, Ashish Punna. Wise to have only one change, Bumrah in place of Prasidh. The 11 of the second test worked. Nair has had decent time with the bat and has done well in the slips. Sundar has contributed and has looked good. 11 with Bumrah is a big booster shot.
200%. And Chetan Paji said today, Bumrah matlab jigra hai.
क्या बात है.
And he went and said, यार वो ग्राउंड में देखोगे ना उसको तुमको लगेगा ये
मजा
मैच
आता है.
निका एग्जैक्टली. एंड आज जैसे देख रहे थे वो देवाशीष वाला स्टोरी, आज आप जैसे देख रहे थे, जसप्रीत वाज इन द मूड. कल
yeah.
दोबारा हम लोग देखेंगे. वील रिपोर्ट बैक. फॉर द मोमेंट जाने दीजिए, इनको बहुत भूख लगा है.
Very
सो
hungry यार.
फॉर वंस एटलीस्ट बोल रहे हैं कुछ खाने का है, एयर नहीं खाने का है तो खिला देते हैं. आज त्रिशा का बर्थडे भी है, जाके एक साथ हम लोग खाना वाना खाएंगे. We'll celebrate some Lebanese food. That's today because I told Devashish has now taken to Mexican food. So today it will be Devashish
There's a
and
sombrero
Lebanese.
here. I love sombrero.
हाँ, ये तो अच्छा चेन है. But today we will try some Lebanese food in my favorite behind the Wellington Hospital on St. John's Wood. So time for us to go. Now, lovely shows coming up your way tomorrow, folks. Keep watching Rev Sports for maximum coverage. We will be back again at Lord's for the England practice and thereafter for the India practice. All of us. Watch Rev Sports Bangla for a chat between Devashish and me. Hindi, Rohit, Shubhan and the rest of the boys. And English, of course, the two of us and many more. I don't think anybody, any platform even comes close. Unprecedented coverage of this particular series on Rev Sports. Thank you very much for watching.
See you soon.